dedicated, obsessed, focused. This is the Masters of Fitness podcast.
Welcome to episode 21 of the Masters of Fitness podcast.
Obsessed.
What's going on, Thad? Man, is this
I was getting all my stuff straight.
this is the 21st episode, and Thad always manages not to turn his sound off on his phone. I think it's like I think it's kind of your running gag now, Thad. You do it on purpose at this point. Welcome to Masters of Fitness, guys. And today, we don't have a guest today. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about not home gym. What's in your gym bag? Gym bag essentials. What you think about that? Well, anyway, you've been MIA for the last, I wouldn't say MIA, but you've been a busy man building this chicken coop. I know we're going to talk about home gym, not home gym, gym bag essentials and what you need in your gym bag or whatnot. But this man Thad has built a luxurious chicken coop.
Yeah, buddy.
How long did it take you to do that?
This
It's
almost 2 weeks.
I just thought that was pretty funny. Lisa Allen put on a gym bag deodorant. I agree. All right, now what you was saying, 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I've been working on this chicken coop for almost 2 weeks, and I knew it was going to be a pretty good little project, but once I got rolling in it, one thing leads to another, and I've got a nice little luxurious palace for my 4 little hens out there in the backyard. It come out nice, man. It really looks good, but I hope nobody ever asks me to build one for them because I don't think they can afford me.
So now you see what people pay all that extra money for labor. So tying this all back into fitness and health. So now that'll be able to have fresh eggs that he knows. Like we always say, always know where your source of food comes from. And what better way of doing that is by farming and raising your own food yourself. So congratulations on that part, man. That's that's a huge deal. And don't forget about your buddy over here. When you have all those extra eggs that you and CC and Staten can't eat all those eggs that y'all gonna be producing.
These chickens should put out I think it's a little over 300 eggs a year is what they're supposed to do. And I have 4 of them. So I'd have about 1,200 eggs a year. That's probably about how many I eat.
Man, yeah, you're right. You're a pretty healthy guy. You like eating eggs, man. So, all right. So jumping back into the topic, man. Gym bag essentials. I know I'm a guy that lives with my gym bag in my truck all day long. I carry it where it go. I think you kind of the same way too, right? It's just
my gym bag goes everywhere I go.
It's like I'm always ready for a workout, no matter what. I'm ready for a workout. So I know both me and you, we have the that Highly gym bag.
Yeah.
That I'm sad to say is now discontinued. You think is it discontinued or are they just not selling them anymore?
Man, I don't know. I haven't really nosed around on their site in quite a while. I'm not sure.
Yeah, last time I looked on the site, all it had was the Highly duffel bag on there, and it's sad to say because it was actually a legit bag. Hold on, if I'm putting my bag up here for a second.
I like my bag. There it is. That's it.
This bag is like mini luggage. I mean, this was we both got our bags about 3 years.
Almost 3 years ago.
3 years ago, and I will be honest to say I don't have one scratch, one thread missing, and I'm pretty tough on my bag. I carry it to work. I take it on trips. Throw sweaty gym equipment in there. I throw stanky shoes, smelly clothes, and this thing takes a beating, and it just keeps on going. But it was a pretty good bag.
I love it.
And at the time, it was about $250. We ended up getting a discount code on the bag. So, before you could put things into your gym bag, you have to have a quality gym bag. So that kind of goes into our next point is the fact that don't go cheap on your gym bag. I could.
No, I got a garage full of cheap gym bags out there that I've never liked any of them until I paid big money for this one, and it's been the last one I've bought.
Yeah, I think as experience with my wife, I didn't got Naomi, like you said, all those little, those $30 bags from
Hmm.
Academy that has like the Adidas on the front. There's that real cheap thin nylon. Zippers not good. They maybe last for about 2 months, but when you really invest in a really, really good bag, those things last a long time and serve
Yeah, they
a
do.
dual purpose. I know
Yep.
Nike has a really good bag. Reebok. I used to have a Reebok bag before I had this Holly bag that somebody actually stole out of my truck. I love that Reebok bag. It was kind of the same type of setup that was real deep and very big.
Hmm.
Noble has a bag. I kind of like the look at it. I like that look at that Noble bag as well too. It's a real that new streamlined look.
Yeah, there's some pretty sharp looking bags.
Who else had built for athletes? Have you ever heard of that brand before?
I hadn't heard of that one.
It's that kind of that it's that military style backpack with the you can put the patches on it motif. And I know those
Hmm.
bags run about 70 $79 $80, and even it's kind of in line with the Bear Complex. The kind of Bear Complex bag they have too, and they
Yeah,
actually have two bags, which is I think is a 60-liter bag and a 40-liter bag or whatever. That's actually pretty big. So
Bear Complex.
yeah, Bear Complex. Have you seen theirs before?
Man, I probably have. I'm not real familiar with them.
That is the type of guy that gets one brand and he rocks out with it.
No, I'm telling you, man. Ever since I have this one, I hadn't even looked at a gym bag, and since I've gotten this thing,
You talking
there's
to a
no
guy
need.
who's back. I'm bad crazy. I got like eight. I got like eight gym bags. I know this is not a gym bag, but I found this brand on YouTube, not on YouTube, on Instagram called Baboon to the Moon or whatever. And it's some pretty, it's some like some pretty cool looking bags. So I'm a bag fiend. I look for bags, new bags all the time. I'm eyeballing this Noble bag, but I just can't push
Yeah,
myself to spend $200 on a bag
you
when
might
I
as
have
well.
a bag that's
You might
purposely
as well
good.
go ahead and pull the trigger, Ernest, because you're gonna get it.
No, 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 I'm not
You're
gonna get
talking.
it.
You're talking like that. You're gonna get it.
No, I do the same thing. How I pulled the trigger on that assault runner.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, when you get your gym bag, folks, make sure you spend. Don't be afraid. I would say a good price anywhere between 80 and $100 get you in that mid range good bag. 150 to 200. You can probably get a bag that's probably your top end type bags, and that'll be very good to not only use for the gym, but also use when you're traveling and have a lot of compartments into it. So, and I always like to say, make sure, and one thing I always look for is the nylon. Make sure it's very good nylon or canvas material. And one thing I underestimated with the cheaper bags is the zipper.
Right. I was fixing to say that. You better pay close attention to the zipper.
What is it? That YKK? Is it the YKK zippers that are the ones that are very durable, very tough? I think the Holly bag has the YKK zippers on it as
Is
well. So
that what's
don't
on
understand
here?
the YKK on the zipper, but don't underestimate the quality of the zipper. Cheap
Mm-mm.
zippers, when you stuff them, that's when a good zipper comes into play. When you stuff your bag, putting it in there, pulling on the zipper, throwing it down. Once that zipper goes, that's it.
Right.
Make sure you get one that's a good size.
And not to
Large.
mention, get a little bit of sweat on them, and they'll just freeze up on you.
Are you talking about the zipper part?
The zippers, yeah, a lot of
Oh,
those
I
little
never.
cheap ones, you get them real sweaty or something like that, and they'll lock up on you.
What causes them to lock up?
Just the sweat
The
from
sweat.
the
Does it kind of rust the material or just make it
it just kind of gets a corrosion on top of
oh,
it,
corrosion? Okay.
and it just corrodes up, and you can't use the dadgum things.
Man, see that stuff, and that's like I say, quality zippers on a gym bag is
Hmm.
something that you cannot underestimate. There's nothing more frustrating than having a $50 bag and a zipper breaks on it in 1 month, and then you got to go spend another $50 on a bag.
Yep.
Consider the quality of the bag is the number one start to having a good gym bag. Something that that could do a purpose. If you're not afraid of spending a lot of money, think about a bag that can not only serve as your gym bag, but as a traveling bag for all your equipment. So they allow you to wash. Yeah, I don't think gym bags are gym bags machine washable. Or do you just kind of wipe them out?
I don't know. I would wash this one.
Have you put that one in the washing machine
I
before?
haven't, but I would if I
You
felt like
would?
I needed to.
Yeah. So Lisa, what
I
I'm
wouldn't be
mostly
scared to wash this.
yeah, I think what I do a lot of times is I just once I get to that point where I just can't stand the smell of my bag anymore. I'll just take all the stuff out and wipe it out real good with Lysol wipes or Clorox wipes or whatever. But a lot of bags you can put them in the washing machine and kind of wash them on like a very gentle cycle. I wouldn't suggest putting them in the dryer. I would suggest opening it up and letting it air dry
Yeah,
outside, just to
yeah,
kind of keep the integrity of the equipment materials all in line. So
yeah, definitely.
so that covers gym bag. Make sure you get a gym bag, dual purpose that you can load up, put stuff in there, work clothes, gym shoes, something that you could throw all your stuff into, food, if not, all kind of fun stuff. So moving on from gym bags. And like I say, we will post all the bags that we personally use and that we talk about will be in the description in our YouTube video. So you can go back and check those out. So what's I think next? So what does Thad have in his gym bag right now? If you open up that sweaty bag, what's in there, Thad?
Well, you want to know everything that's in it?
Well, not everything. The most important stuff.
I've got my lacrosse balls. I have the peanut, the two lacrosse balls taped together. I have the green screen's messing with it. I have just my regular single lacrosse ball, and in my opinion, those are the most important things in my bag right there.
What's
But
that?
that's my lacrosse balls.
So let's
I,
oh, so
I
let's
honestly feel like this is probably some of the best things I have in my bag, or the most used,
all right,
besides
so let's
my
take
hand grips and stuff like that.
let's take a step back. So what as you can see, I have a lacrosse ball as well, which I have a Rogue brand lacrosse ball, and I think these run about what $8 or something like that. But
Yeah, I've always just bought mine off of Amazon.
Amazon, okay.
Yeah.
So explain to people what
One of our listeners out here, I see he's listening right now, Mike Burkett. He gave me
Mhm.
this. His his sons actually played lacrosse.
Oh, really?
Uh
And
huh.
so what it is so this is a legit, it's a cross ball. I mean, a lacrosse ball. It's nothing, it's not a play on the names. All it is an actual lacrosse ball that they play in the that they use in the sport, correct?
Correct.
So it's kind of explain to the people, break it down, what actually does a lacrosse ball do and what could it be beneficial for?
So your lacrosse ball, it's hard enough to, like, if you get down on it and roll with like you would do with a foam roller or something like that. But I really use mine for my back and my glutes most of the time. They're hard enough to get down in there, but they're just not like so hard where it really hurts to use it. They're to me, they're the perfect consistency of material for doing stuff like that. But mine, I spend more time rolling out my glutes and hamstrings with this thing more than anything.
So is it kind of it's kind of to the points where you just find that sweet spot and you just keep rolling around with it and kind
Right.
of working into that muscle?
Yeah. Kelly Starrett always called it a seek and destroy mission. And that's what I tell people. So you lay down on the ball, or you or you up against the wall with it, on your back or your shoulder or something like that, and you seek around until you find something that's hurting, and then you stay on that knot. You can take and like tense that muscle up whenever you find that spot. Take and tense that muscle up real tight, and then let loose and push on it some more, and then tense up and let loose. Every time you tense up and let loose, the ball's going to go deeper and deeper into that spot. And then just kind of slowly but surely kind of work around that little area until it completely turns loose. And you can feel it.
I like that
You can,
terminology you said, that kind of that seek and destroy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I love the lacrosse ball, but I hate the lacrosse ball. I use it a lot. I stick it up in my like in my lats and kind of roll it out in my shoulder, kind of loosen all that
Mhm.
up. That's always my trouble area with my overhead squats. So
Yeah.
so good, guys. So go out, get you a lacrosse ball. You can find these on Amazon, Rogue.com. But I suggest go ahead and search. It's nothing special about a lacrosse ball, name brand, no name brand. Get the no name brand ones off of Amazon. Because all it is a rubber ball that you could just that you use in there to kind of give yourself that self massage, kind of loosen those muscles out and get that tightness out. So stand in line with the lacrosse ball, since we'll just work on mobility type equipment. Talk about the bands, the importance of, you said, I saw earlier you had some you carried a
Right.
band around with you.
I always have a red band in my bag with me. The red one is going to be more. It's one of the smaller ones. It's not the smallest.
Mhm.
It's probably about the second to the smallest one, where you can really, you can use this thing to loosen up your shoulders. Um, you can use it for they using it for I'm trying to think of the word for finishers after the end of a workout. You can tie it
Okay.
up to a pull up rig or something like that, and use it for your resistance work.
Okay. Like bicep curls and all that stuff, shoulder.
Right. Tricep pull downs. All that stuff.
So it's like versatile. And explain it. So I know always when I go into the gym, I always get confused. But I know there's different levels of bands that they have. It's like black, red,
Right, and
green,
different
purple.
brands are different.
Okay,
So
so you can't really stick to color as far as the tension goes.
not really. I don't think you can anyway, because I've seen some different colored ones. But for the most part, your red one is usually going to be one of your smaller ones. When you start getting a little bit bigger, your green one, the green ones are going to be fairly large. They're going to be probably twice the width of a red one.
Okay.
So it's going to be stronger.
So the bigger the width, the stronger the band is. It's kind of how you
Oh,
kind of eyeball it, is what you're saying.
right. Most
Oh.
definitely.
And it's even something, if you don't have them in your bag, a lot of gyms have some type of band that you could use. Even if you don't have a band, I know they had that variation where they have the rubber band with the two handles on the side of it that you can kind of manipulate to kind of get the same type of stretches out of that as well.
Yeah.
So bands, those are another good bands. How much do they normally run? Are they pretty expensive or pretty just
You can
depends?
you can get a whole set of about I want to say there's 5 bands in a set on Amazon for about 35, maybe
Hmm.
$40. That
That's a
that's how
very
I
good
buy
price.
them. I just buy the whole set of them.
Yeah, buy the whole set and just ask any, and like, hey, Naomi had a good question. What benefits do band have for squats? IG fitness models love them. What are they about? So, I mean, just kind of like that was saying earlier, bands just kind of gives you that added resistance when you're
Yeah.
doing, like, if you just get, I said, when you're doing body weight, to give you that extra little oomph to kind of come down and up to kind of help those muscles work a little bit more. And squats is maybe something you could use those high resistance bands for. It might not be something that you would use to kind of stretch your shoulders, because you're not trying to just give yourself a good shoulder workout, but can be used a lot in the squats, or even I seen people use them like for what are those called? Good mornings. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Band and good mornings.
When you get into those advanced movements, you kind of get
Hmm.
your skill level up with learning how to manipulate the bands. Good mornings is another good one. If you take that band, put it around your neck, stand on
Right.
it with your feet
Stand on
spread
it.
out and bend down. It's a good stretch for your back. So it's a very good versatile piece of equipment. So
Yeah, not
you know,
only can you use them for resistance, but you can use them to activate your muscles before you make some lifts. Like
mhm.
you can use them to activate your glutes before you're squatting. Wake everything up.
So
Get
there you
ready to
go, Naomi.
lift.
That's why, see, Naomi, we answered your question. That's why fitness models love them, because they activate the glutes. And
Hmm.
that's all people want. That's all fitness models want to put on Instagram. It's the glutes. So,
Right.
but I know it's funny. I don't mean to joke about it, because that's an important. It's a very large muscle. You got to strengthen it because, like you said, a lot of people have back problems when they walk or when they squat because they don't activate their glutes when they doing things like running and doing squats. So not to joke about it, but you see a lot of these, you see a lot of people doing band exercises to activate the glutes. So that's very important as we joke
Right.
about it.
Your glutes
Fitness
are
mind,
probably
usually.
one of the biggest. I'm not going to say the biggest, but probably one of the most strongest muscles in your body because they do so much.
I would say it would be I would say it's one of the biggest muscles. You want to say maybe you think about like quadriceps, hamstring, glutes, and your pectoral muscles. If you think
Right.
overall.
The glutes are always they're sitting back there, and if they're not activated right, then your quads are going to do most of the work. Then you're going to get quad dominant, and then it's we can do a whole nother show on all that.
And that's why
But
people have a lot of these ACL problems because the quads are so dominant. Your
right,
hamstrings and glutes are weak, and it puts that extra strain on the muscles, and that's what people don't understand. When I speak a lot about muscle balance. If you don't have muscle balance, because your muscles pulls on your joints and your bones, so if you have an imbalance in those muscles, and if those muscles aren't activating the right way, then it leads to injuries. Because every muscle is in your body for a reason, to serve a purpose to aid in movement. So if
right,
they're not activated right, then you're not moving right and leads to
right.
injury. So
It's not
bands are
activating right, then another muscle is going to take over for it, and then eventually the muscle that takes over for it gets so strong that the other muscle is just like, oh heck, I'm just going to hang out. I don't even need to do
yeah, I'm out.
anything anymore. Yeah,
I'm gonna sit over here on the couch and eat potatoes and
that's what
drink soda
happens.
water.
Yeah,
So
buddy.
bands are very, very important to have, very important yet versatile piece of equipment to have in your backpack. Uh so moving on. So we have the crossballs, talk about bands. What else in your bag we get around that will aid in, kind of that mobility? I know I would say foam rollers, but those are kind
Right.
of very large to have, but they do have similar ones that you could find as like those little individual rollers that you could use, like on your
Right.
legs and stuff like
I
that. That are
have
similar to the
a
foam rollers.
I have an orb. This is called an orb. So it's soft like a foam roller.
Okay,
So
kind of
it'll
does
get
the
into
same
those
thing.
bigger spots.
Cool, foam
Hmm.
rollers. Mr. Jeremy Firmo says massage gun.
Yeah.
So if you go to
I don't own a massage gun. I made one out of a
you made
golf
one that
ball and a
was
screwdriver.
you made one that was a power drill. It wasn't a massage gun. But see, so I would like a year ago, I would have said no because I thought they were severely overpriced for what they were. But now that the patent is out and more companies are making them, these things
Yeah.
are a lot more affordable. You can find a good one for about I think Naomi brought me one for my birthday for about $60. And that I carried around with me everywhere I go. And those things, it's like it kind of serves as that like that lacrosse ball. You can really get in there and kind of give yourself that self massage. They have the different head connection pieces that you put in there. I think they have the 2-prong one. They have like the one that's a straight bullet, that's straight pain. Then they
Hmm.
have like the ball that's like the lacrosse ball. So yeah, that's a good one. Massage guns are very good and they're very affordable now. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
say you don't have to go with the bigger brands like the Theragun that normally runs about $200, which I think is kind of, if you have the money to spend on it, go for it. But if you can find
Yeah.
one of these cheaper ones that you're just going to be using that serves the same purpose, go ahead and get that cheaper gun because that license, the patent is up. So now everyone has the kind of the engineering to make that motor a lot more quieter. The
Yeah.
one that has sounds like you're trying to nail hammers in a wall or
Yeah.
saw or
The
something
one
into
I made, one I
the
made, you needed hearing protection to use it.
hearing protection and use it. So, all right. So those are kind of some mobility things that you could get into. That might be a little advanced for your first time gym goers, but something that you definitely should add to your gym bag, especially if you somebody who suffer from mobility or to kind of help you get those stretches in your workout or even when you on your lunch break or if you're traveling, resistance bands are good to have to get you a good workout in the hotel room. So Another
Right.
question came up. I think people really like this gym bag stuff. Is for first time gym goers, what do you absolutely have to have in your bag? So I think now we transition into. So I'll say this is a good segue into the protecting your hands, hand protection when you're in the gym. So
Yeah.
I know the old saying is if you people who wear gloves, wear hand gloves are weak. They're not. It's not a manly thing to do. But hey, I don't want to walk around with calluses on my hands all day, blisters. So I want to keep my hands protected. So
Yeah. So I use Victory grips.
victory grips. Okay.
Right.
Explain the victory
As
grips.
far as I'm concerned, I've owned several different types of grips through the years, and these right here are absolutely the best ones I've ever found. They're
Okay.
made of real leather. The particular ones I wear have 3 holes in them. Some of them just have 2, but I like to have the 3 hole ones.
Okay. Is there any
Just
difference between the 3 hole and 2 hole, or is it just
the
pretty
three
much
hole
perfect?
is a little bit wider,
Okay.
so this is going to be a little bit wider. It covers your whole hand.
So I
But
use a similar one. Victory grips, don't they have ones that you could that I don't want to say disposable ones or the ones that kind of stick to your hand more? Was that another brand, not Victory grips?
I don't know about all that.
Okay, I could
These
be
are the only
wrong.
ones I've ever owned. I know they make some different ones. They make them that don't even have holes. That the strap's a lot longer. You just kind of hold the
So,
strap in your hand.
so similar to the Victory grips, the ones you use, I use the Waddies. The Waddies
Yeah.
by
Hmm.
Jerk Fit.
Yeah.
And the reason I like the Waddies is because, like you said, they come in the same thing. They come in a 2 hole or 3 hole version, which is kind of your preference. What these do is they provide me with that extra, as you can see, it kind of wraps around.
Yeah.
So it provides that extra wrist support that helps me when I'm moving from movement to movement. I say cycling a barbell to
Right.
say if I'm going from deadlifts or going to pull-ups. I don't have or going from cleans to pull-ups, bench press to pull-ups. I don't have to worry about taking a rip strap off. They kind of serve a dual purpose and aid
Hmm.
in wrist health and all that. So but like I say,
Right.
these gloves, these aren't necessarily be considered gloves. You wouldn't want to, I mean, you wouldn't use these if you was just going to the gym doing regular bodybuilding type workouts. These are more like what would you call your gymnastics type
Right.
grips,
These are
correct?
gymnastics grips,
Okay.
is what they are.
Gymnastic grips. So yeah, so gymnastic grips are specifically for gymnastic type movements. You're getting on the gym. I know Bear Complex makes a good brand. You have the Victory grips. Who else makes a good those grips like that?
Rogue sells some pretty good ones. They're just
Rogue.
Rogue
Okay.
brand.
Rogue has those good gymnastic grips, and
Hmm.
I have, like I said, I have the ones that are from Jerk Fit, which aren't they're not leather like the ones like a lot of the other ones gymnastic grips that you have. These are more of a really tough nylon material, and I've been having these I've been having these Waddies for about 3 years now. 3 years, and I use
Yeah.
them
That
pretty
long?
good. Huh?
You've been having them for that long?
Yeah, I've been having them for 3 years. So
That's pretty
and
good.
I would say it's very important to have grips if you're going to do a high volume of gymnastic moves because it's just friction on your hands. I mean, you want to
Yeah.
protect your hands. You don't want to get blood. You don't want to say blood clots. You don't want to get those blisters that bleed because all it's
Hmm.
going to do is put you out for an extended period of time. It makes grabbing that barbell very, very, very tough. So get you a pair of grips. Now,
Right.
so if you transition into more of the bodybuilding style, you have just the regular gym gloves that you would use to kind of protect your hands doing lifts or whatever. So
Right. And everybody, there's a ton of different ones. I carry just these mechanics gloves.
so you can go straight from the gym straight into fixing somebody's
Hmm.
truck if you need to out in the parking lot, huh?
But I promise they'll do the job.
And where did you get those? But so because I mean, if you break it all down, a gym glove is nothing but tough leather or tough canvas that's durable, correct?
Right.
It's not. I mean, how much those mechanics gloves probably go for?
About $10 to $15.
$10 to $15.
Yeah.
And just like we say with just like we talk about with the gym bags, make sure you get you some gloves that are actually pretty good material. Like test the material out before you use them, read reviews, and don't only read the reviews and make sure and test the longevity of them, especially if you're somebody who's going to do a lot of Olympic lifts. You got to think about the turning in your hand, especially a lot of barbell lifts, because you got to think about sweat. You got to think about the chalk you're going to put on them, and thinking about actually when you wash them, you want to make sure they're actually durable when you wash them and then keep their integrity as well. So gymnastic grips, bodybuilding gloves, and wrist wraps as well.
Right. I forgot to mention this. Whenever you get down to the, we talked about the mobility stuff earlier. Everybody should have one of these.
Oh, what's that?
Voodoo floss.
Oh man, that's so it's just painful.
It's just a big long rubber band. See, just on the end, and it's open ended. You wrap it around whatever muscle you're trying to loosen up. Your elbow, your forearm, your quads. Wrap it around there real tight, and you can floss all the junk. Out of your, I don't know the technical term.
I think the science behind it, I'm gonna go a little bit, just one step above saying junk with my bad time. Is the fact that what it does, it helps stimulate blood flow into the area, and all we know, blood carries all the nutrition, all the oxygen, and everything. Kind of helps stimulate that recovery into that particular muscle to help it heal a lot better. And when you say wrap it up, it's very similar to if you're wrapping the ankle or wrapping the tight muscle or muscle that you pulled with the stuff you wrap with the Band-Aid stuff that you wrap it up with. You do the similar thing with the voodoo floss. So the name is scary, but what it does, it used to stimulate blood flow to a certain area to kind of help with healing and help with recovery as well. I know I used the voodoo floss a lot when that one competition I did, the Norby's games, I did when I pulled my hamstring on that clean. Yeah. I think I actually put the voodoo floss on my leg. Not didn't do it as tight, but it as loose, and it helped me through the rest of the
you kind of used it as a brace?
As a brace, and kind of helped me out through the rest of the workout. So voodoo floss is very good stuff. So, but back to hand grip.
Yeah, Jeremy, I guess you could use them for occlusion training, Jeremy.
Inclusion training.
Occlusion.
Explain. That's my first time hearing that term.
It's whenever you wrap up one of your muscles. Say you're gonna work your biceps, and you wrap them up, and you restrict the flow going to those muscles, and work them under restrictions.
Huh?
You never seen anybody do that?
I haven't seen anybody do that before.
Yeah.
Is that kind? I guess it's so. Does that helps grow the muscle? Cause same concept, right?
Yeah, same concept.
Okay. That's a new term, inclusion training. That's actually my first time hearing that. And Jeremy also makes another good when he talks about chalk or liquid chalk. So, of course, carrying chalk around in your gym bag could be a very messy situation. And I personally keep chalk on me in my home, my personal gym. And I know a lot of bodybuilding type gyms, a lot of not bodybuilding type gyms, correction, a lot of global gyms are against you using chalk in the gym because they don't like, it's not their style.
It's going to make a mess.
It's going to make a mess. So I don't know. I think liquid chalk might be a better option for those individuals who going to a gym that's your particular global gym that frowns upon the powerlifting style workouts. But yeah, chalk is something definitely that I keep on myself because I have my home gym and I go to a CrossFit style gym. But liquid chalk could be a good alternative if you're going to the global type gyms to kind of help with your grip and kind of help protect your hands. So, because we're not, like I always said, when you're doing a heavy deadlift, I don't want sweat to be the limiting factor of me not being able to pick up a particular weight. So,
right.
Another thing I use these wrist wraps. I got these wrist wraps from Academy. I can never pronounce this name of this brand, but if I spell it, maybe that HARBINGER. That it's the It's that typical a brand that you would see at Academy.
Yeah.
These ran me about $8, $8 to $10. They're very good for wrist support. I know you say, hey, I don't need wrist support, but my whole thing is, why would you want to support your joints, especially as you get older and as things start wearing down? The more support you have, the longer you're able to work out. So don't feel bad about using support, knee wraps, and all that stuff when you're actually working out. So.
And I use just the these are called the Train Aggressive makes these. I buy them off of Amazon. They're about $8 for a pair of them, but they're just the big long wraps. You keep wrapping them around your wrist, and when you get them on there, you can tighten them up by twirl them with the way you wrapped, or you can loosen them by coming off of it a little bit. But these are probably some of the best ones I've ever used.
Okay, wrist wraps. I love wrist wraps. I use them. I use my wrist wraps all the time. If I go to the gym and I don't have my wrist wraps or my grips, I know it's gonna be a long day. It's my crutch sometimes.
Yeah. So Jeremy says right here he wants a wrist wrap demonstration. So on these, see they have the stitching on these right here. I put the stitching towards my hand. Let me see if you can see it. Towards my hand.
Yeah, okay.
Like this.
Yeah, you can see it now.
So you just get it going, and then just start wrapping it on here. And you don't have to wrap it real tight. Just get it, just fairly snug it up. You got the strap. You just put this strap underneath what you just wrapped over it. And like I said earlier, you take it and just turn it.
Huh. It kind of keeps it.
And that tightens it up.
Huh. Interesting.
And they're there.
Pretty cool. And that's kind of one of the reasons I used the old traditional ones. Kind of the same concept that Thad has, but it's not. It's more of the Velcro material with the traditional thumb loop.
These are going to be more softer,
more
pliable material than those. Those are going to be a little bit more of a stiffer material.
Take them, wrap around there tight, have the position in there for your thumb. And like I say, when these are on, these is like for, hey, I'm about to lift something heavy. Right. I want to say there's a lot of wrist restriction, but it keeps this more. I like the more rigid feel when I'm going in lift heavy weights, because I had problems before with my wrist, and it kind of helps me out. So, and that's one of the reasons why I like the Jerk Fit, because they actually have theirs actually has the wrist wraps built into them with the grip. So if you want wrist wraps or wrist wraps that could serve a dual purpose and kind of give you that extra grip. And this canvas on here is the same material as what you will find in any weightlifting glove. So these are good cross-functional type gym straps.
Yep. So like these, whenever I put these particular wraps on, and then I put my
so you could put your thing on there with your, okay, got you. And so when you go do a workout, you just take your two fingers out the thing and let them hang to the side. Okay, cool. Yeah. So wrist wraps, guys, get you guys. Wrist wraps are very good. It's something that's essential that I keep in my gym bag as well. That's what Naomi says. So beginner wise, get you some gym gloves to kind of keep you going. So, next up we have. So let's move on to the since we all into the wrist wraps, transitioning, segueing into body support type equipment that you would have. I just want to brag on this a little bit because I just went splurged on a new weight belt. We're gonna talk about weightlifting belts. And like I just got this Tupood weightlifting belt. Has some pretty good reviews. This style is actually called the ranch style because it has that kind of, it's the nylon with that faux leather on the outside of it that's really good. And one reason I went with the nylon type band is because it's more it's easy to use transition wise from doing a heavy lift and then going actually into those CrossFit style movements, or even if you're running and doing box jumps and stuff like that. Now, I know I have one of the more rigid brands. I have one of your old school traditional type leather bands, and it's from that same brand that you could get from Academy. Runs about $30. This one is the old school solid leather gym bag, right? Leather gym band right here. That's you strap it on, you strap it in tight. And it's tough to breathe with that thing going. I use that one when I'm more or less time trying to get a heavy 1 rep or something like that. Not too good when you're doing a walk because it's not as rigid and not as movable. You use do you normally keep your own belt, or you just use the ones that you have?
I don't. I had bought a belt several years ago, and since then I've put on a couple of pounds. It won't fit me anymore. But I've never really been one to use a belt a whole lot because back early on, I did a lot of reading about using belts and stuff like that, and it's my opinion that a belt can almost hamper you more than it can help you in the long run. Because if your core is strong enough, you don't really need a belt, because your core is what protects your back. So all the belt's doing, it's reminding you to keep your
core tight.
Core tight, and it helps you keep your core a little bit tighter. But I've always felt like if you have a strong enough core and you're good enough at bracing yourself, then you really don't even need a belt. But that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Also,
I don't like wearing them because one thing is, like in a CrossFit workout, I have a hard enough time breathing as it is. I don't need something squishing me.
and that's true. I know another thing I also read about belts is you don't want them to become a crutch when you use them when you're in a workout. So I know I use them a lot when I use the belts when I'm getting up to, my rule of thumb is 80%. Once I get up to 80% of my 1 rep max, if I know I'm going to be a heavy clean and I'm doing some 1 rep type lifts, that's when I lock in and I use my belt. And a lot of times if I know I'm going to be doing in a CrossFit workout and I have a high volume of deadlifts that I'm going to be doing, I would normally give myself a little extra support to my back, just because I struggle. Not, I don't want to say struggle, but my back kind of gets tightened up a little bit better. And it could be a crutch, but it's just kind of my comfort zone for that extra support. But it should, like that was saying, it shouldn't be the end all be all. It shouldn't be something that you rely on to keep your core tight. It should be something that you use to aid.
Exactly. And I agree with you 100% about whenever you start getting into that 80% range, 80% of your 1 rep max, then I throw the belt on there. But I see people walking around with them on like all the time. We go into the gym and there's like, as soon as we get finished warming up, they're putting their belt on. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you?
Yeah.
You're not doing yourself any good.
Yeah, when I'm like in the lighter weights, I like to give my core muscles time, get that stability, get them stronger. Kind of like you said, if you're not using the core muscles and if the belt is always there, then that belt is going to be that your muscles aren't going to work as hard. So they're going to be like, okay, well, you got the belt on, you have that compression. We don't have to do as much work. So
exactly.
Yeah, kind of echo like Jeremy said, he had a lever belt and it kind of broke his, I think he said it broke his ribs, man. Those, I didn't see those lever belts. Are those,
yeah, that's what I have.
Okay.
I have it. It's out in the garage. I didn't bring it in. It's all dirty. It's all dirty and dusty.
Yeah, so I think that's why I'm switching to something that's a little more soft, a little that's not as rigid. That's something that's more maneuverable and breathable. Because the leather belt, it does sticks in there if you get it too tight, and it restricts your breathing a lot. So, So moving on from belts, my favorite. I don't care what you say about these, Dad. I'm gonna use these till the day I die. I don't care if they making my legs weak or not. I go absolutely nowhere without my knee sleeves.
Right. And my knee sleeves are out in the truck. I didn't bring them in the house because they don't smell too good. I got to buy
these
some new ones. I've been trying to get on Rogue to buy some new ones here. Like I need to do it like right now because my other
these
ones there.
things are a lifesaver for me.
Yeah, they
Like I
are.
said, I don't use them when I'm in lighter weights. I kind of wait till I get up to that 75% on up range, or if I'm doing a high volume of lifts of like air squats, especially for pistols. But these things are a lifesaver. My particular brand, I don't suggest any other brand besides Reband. That's me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
I
brand I
agree.
use. These things are like $35 for one.
Right.
I actually had a buddy, he ordered them, then he got mad when it came in because it was only one knee sleeve. I was like, man, you gotta buy two. But these things
Yeah.
are life-saving. I think these are, which is the common person what I suggest everyone get is the 7 millimeter, if I'm correct. Is that the standard normal
Oh,
size that everyone would get?
I don't know. That sounds kind of thick.
So these the ones I get. I know they have the different one, like different 5 millimeter and 7 millimeter. Some that use are
Mhm.
really restrictive that you can only use like squatting up that you can't actually walk around in. I know
Yeah.
these sleeves aren't fun to run in. You could run in them, but they're not fun to run in. I could do box jumps and I could still do double unders
Yeah.
with these reband knee sleeves on. So
Anytime I do a lot of burpees, any type of squatting, I'll have those on for sure.
yeah, and they're good knee protection for lunges. Anytime
Yeah.
you're doing lunges, they're
Lunges.
really good protection. So
Yeah.
your knees are very important. Protect your knees. Get you some knee sleeves. Don't go cheap. I
Yeah.
don't
Because,
suggest going to Academy and getting those ones that got the hole in the front that you pull up. They won't last. You
no.
wasting. You'll be buying a new pair. So let's say those cost $19.99. They might last you 2 or 3 months. They're gonna lose the stability. They're gonna lose some of the
Hmm.
elasticity in them as you roll them down, come up, as you wash them and clean them. Go ahead and spend 35, $39 and get these get you. You don't I mean they have many options. You can get the camel ones for extra $10 if you want. But get the
Yeah.
plain Jane blue ones. These are 39. You can get them on rogue.com. Amazon sells them as well. I don't know if
Yeah.
Reband site actually sells them or they just apply other people to sell them.
I'm not sure.
I'm
I
not
bet
sure,
they
but
have
I
a
know
site where you can go buy them directly.
I just buy mine from Rogue.
Yeah.
Reband knee sleeves, 7 millimeter. Measure your thigh. So they actually on there they have the sizing chart. So check out the sizing chart, measure your leg, I think at the top of the thigh and your calf, and it kind of tells you what size that you want to get. Because you don't
Yeah.
want it too big and you don't want it too tight to where it restricts blood flow and it restricts your movement in your knees itself. So
But one good thing about those is not only do they protect you, but they compress, so they keep everything held together. But they also keep everything all nice and warm in there,
yes.
to where all the every it just stays nice and pliable. I guess is
Like
a
I
good
said,
way to put it.
and you don't realize how good they are until you leave them at home. You have to do a workout. You have to do a bunch of air
Right.
squats without the knee sleeves on. So
Yep. It's a
knee
big
sleeves are
difference.
very big, huge difference. So
Yeah,
also you
buddy.
have things like they also have other things that you could have in your gym bag, compression sleeves for your arms to kind of help with the tendonitis that you could get, compression sleeves for your calf muscles as well. I know people normally can run in those things. So I think Mike Burkett up at the top, he said those compression type sleeves for your calves when you're doing rope climbs to kind of
Right.
help
To
with kind of help with friction
protect your shins from the rope.
from the rope. Yes. So those
Yeah.
are very good. And a lot, I think Naomi even made a point. She asked what type of socks that you could get, but they have a lot of now they have the compression socks. It kind of serves as that same type of thing that goes up to your calf muscle to just give your muscle that extra support down there.
Right.
So
Before I years ago, before I had my good knee sleeves, I always carried a pair of long socks in my bag. That way you could put the if you knew if we got there and they had a lot of crazy rope climbs in there, I'd just put those long socks on to help protect my shins and everything from getting all burned
man,
up by the rope. But now I just take my knee sleeves and I just pull them down to the top of my
yeah,
ankles and I let those protect my my
And that's
skin
how you
from the
that's
from
how
the
you know
rope.
these things are durable, because I use them for that same purpose as well,
Yeah.
as like double as my protection from my when I do my rope climb. So
Yeah.
yeah, so any type of compression that you need for your muscles to keep those muscles warm, especially if you have a tendency to get like tendonitis in your joints, if you have a tendency for muscle strains, any type of compression type material, even they even have it built into the compression shorts that you have, compression socks, compression sleeves, just to kind of keep those muscles warm and keep them tight. Keep a lot of that stuff tight in there.
Yeah.
So I know we was going to talk about, we kind of like running up against our time, so we're not going to get too deep into shoes, because we kind of want to, we as we was talking beforehand, we said, hey, we're not going to waste time talking about gym shoes, because we could do a whole nother show for you guys
Right.
about gym shoes. So I'm going to make the call to skip that topic, but be looking for that show in maybe a couple of weeks. We'll go through different type of shoes that you could have in the gym, from Olympic lifting shoes to running shoes to CrossFit shoes to Metcon shoes to the different shoes that you should have for the different type of workouts that you do, because lo and behold, that plays a huge part in preventing injuries, having a right type of shoe to use doing your workout. So we'll have a show. Be looking for a show when that comes out. So
that'll be a good one.
I think we covered just about everything. I know some people had some very, I would say this part of the show, we'll talk about some silly stuff, some general stuff that you should keep in your gym bag just for everyday use. One lady, I think Lisa, said deodorant.
Yeah, but you can't overlook the jump rope.
Oh yes, man, I forgot about jump rope. Jeremy, that's another good point. Jump rope. And what brand did you use?
I use the RPM jump rope.
RPM jump rope. I have the RPM. I found that RPM jump rope is probably the best jump rope that you could get. I know they have one that's a little bit above the RPM jump rope. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that jump rope is it's pretty expensive. It's about $120. But I know the RPM ropes, they got two types of ropes. One runs.
My rope is green. My rope is green, so my green screen's not picking it up. Look at it. Woohoo.
Yeah, so I know that RPM rope, they have one that comes with the bear cable, which is a lot faster ropes.
Yeah.
The bear cable is going to be a lot faster as you going through the as you cycle it through the air. And then they have the ropes that are coated, which is a lot slower, but are more durable when you're doing it on different types of gym flooring material. I know they said they don't suggest using a bear rope for when you're on concrete, because it's just going to fray that rope over time. Use it on the right type of gym floor, even with the coated rope.
Even the coated ropes are going to ruin on concrete real fast.
So, and those are typically the speed type ropes. I know you have the ropes that have the nylon rope, and you have the ones that are actually just the rope that people mostly use just doing regular single unders. But I know we prefer the speed ropes because we do double unders. But
right,
I mean, you can find a jump rope. If you don't want to get fancy, you can go find a jump rope for $5 at Walmart to do regular double unders. I mean, regular jump ropes, and it'll serve its purpose 100%. So.
Yeah,
and like kind of goes along. Go ahead.
I said I've been through. Man, I couldn't tell you how many jump ropes through the years. And when I finally broke down and bought one of these, is the last one I've ever bought. I got a big bag full of old jump ropes back there. I used to think that it was the jump rope's fault when I couldn't do double unders, so I just get another rope.
But no, that RPM rope, one thing I like about it is if you go on the site, you could, if your cable wears out, you could buy another cable. If you lose your set screw, they have all the parts that you need to repair your rope, where you don't have to buy a whole new rope. I think they can put themselves out of business that way, but you don't have to buy a whole new rope. You could just buy the parts to kind of rebuild your rope together. But
yeah, the RPMs, you can get another rope for about $10.
Yeah, just the rope itself. So once you buy the handles, it's all about getting the mechanism and the handles. All about just getting a new rope once that wears out. But if you're not into the fancy ropes, if you're not into all that high quality double unders, you're just a person that wants to keep a rope to travel with, go get you a cheap rope from Walmart.
Academy.
It'll serve that same purpose. It's very versatile. It's something that you could actually travel with, keep it in your gym bag and travel with it, whip it out. It's probably one of the very good piece of workout equipment. Next to running is something that you could almost do anywhere.
Yep.
So jump ropes are very good to have. We'll fall
Just
under
about-
miscellaneous.
Just about for sure to be able to get your heart rate up with a jump rope.
Oh yes, definitely heart rate up with the jump rope. So some other stuff I keep in my bag. I always keep deodorant. That's most important. I always keep deodorant
Mhm.
and a bar soap in my gym bag. The reason I
Yeah.
keep bar soap is not just in case if I'm it's nothing like going to work, getting a full workout in at my gym work, and then not having a soap or deodorant to kind of nobody wants to smell anybody that's musty in the
Right.
gym stuff.
I always carry a toothbrush and toothpaste in mine also.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's what you're right. I just keep an extra little pocket with those basic toiletries that I can have whenever I'm in the gym or headed to work or just trying to mix something up. Hey, Naomi might want to go out to eat when I leave the gym. I got to freshen up my mouth a little bit.
Right.
So rinse out with the mouthwash.
But
So hygiene
one
material.
last thing though is tape.
Tape. At that, you got it. Yeah, you got a Grundle pack. So I mean, we on the miscellaneous stuff. Tape. So what does tape provide? Kind of protect those hands, huh?
Right. I use it most of the time, to protect my thumbs. If you're doing a lot of snatches, your thumbs are going to get real sore and tender from hook gripping the bar a lot. And then like if you're doing a lot of cleans, like a power cleans, then I have a bad habit of getting tired and my elbows don't come around the bar fast enough. And I start wearing a blister right here on my thumb. And I'll just put this stuff on there and wrap it right around where I have the problems, and there's no problem.
Especially if you hook grip, it's very important to have that. I wasn't a fan of tape because I didn't think I needed until, like you said, I formed that blister right there, and it just makes it feel better overall having that tape. So
Right.
and you can also use it to tape your hands. If you that skilled, you can tape your hands, tape your wrists up, or whatever you need. Tape is very versatile to have. They're good miscellaneous item to keep in there along with your toiletries. I know Lisa up above had said sports bra. I don't know anything about sports bras, but if you're a lady, that's a good item to keep in your gym bag. And even for guys, always keep a fresh pair of undergarments in your bag. You never know, you might forget a pair at home when you're taking your shower, and you don't want to put the smelly drawers back on. Ladies, you don't want to put that sports bra back on. So just keep an extra pair of undergarments in your bag. So
yeah,
I think that's about I think that covers it all, man. I think my gym bag is pretty loaded up. All the things, everything that you said, I pretty much have in my gym bag for the most part. If you was to open up my gym bag right now, I was trying to sell my Holly bag. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna let the cat out the bag. I'm trying to sell it because I really want that No Bull bag. But I told myself I'm not going to buy the Holly bag. I'm not going to buy the No Bull bag if I can't sell this bag. So no point of having two $200 bags if I'm only using one of them. So yeah, so that's all, man. That's all we got today. Gym bag essentials. Stuff that you can put in your gym bag. We'll have a rundown of it and links to the different things that we talked about today. Being prepared, having a gym bag all goes along with being prepared when you go to the gym. It's nothing better than going to the gym, being prepared, being in the right mindset, knowing that you have everything that you need to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish and help eliminate all excuses. I see you just pulled up a nice little tool there, Thad. What you got? Is that that's what I was talking about earlier with the kind of the roller that you would use in lieu of the foam roller, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one you can hold it in your hands and roll out I call it's like a rolling pin.
If you guys
roll
could get a
out
visual,
just about anything.
the whole episode, Thad's bag is like a magician's bag. He just pulling stuff out of the right. You got so many
compartments. Like, what else do I have in here? I got all kinds of things in there. We don't have enough time.
that's how big that Holly bag is. I find stuff in my bag and I forget that it's in there. I forget that the bag is in there. Another note, one more thing I want to say about bag: make sure that it has a compartment for dirty or smelly clothes. For your gym clothes that you have, something that you get a separate area that you can put those gym clothes in and kind of let them ventilate and don't let them get that nasty. Once it sits in your car, the bacteria starts forming and gets that nasty smell. So make sure you have an area that you can separate your dirty clothes from your clean clothes. That's just this is hygiene 101. So talking about the guy who never washes his who neatly smell horrible right now. I'm about to go throw them joints into the washing machine.
That's why I just washed mine outside in the truck.
Yeah, I washed all my headbands today. So I called today was my hygiene gym bag day. I cleaned it out, took all my materials out, and wiped them down. So
there you go.
All right, folks. So thank you for listening to the show. Once again, we will have this up on YouTube that you can come back and watch it. We'll have links to all the things that we talked about. Continue to post your questions. We all, like I say, we always follow the questions when you post them here on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page. We're making a big push to get you guys over to our YouTube page. You can view all our good content. Once again, we still have some books to give away. So if you want to do get you a free copy of the Compete Everyday book, make sure you go like and subscribe to the YouTube page. Go like and subscribe. Go like the IG page. Tag 3 friends. Send over me a message, and I guarantee you'll get you'll have your book over in no time. Well, very good book. This book is so good. If you can't remember what all you need to do.
If you can't remember what all you need to do, just message me or Ernest, and we'll tune you up what you need to do to
and it's also
a free book.
Free book. Who doesn't like free stuff? I mean, come on, it's plain and simple. Very good book. Jake, he also was on our show, so if you want to go back and look at him actually talk about his book, his podcast episode is on our YouTube page. So if you don't like the digital looking at our faces, if you want to just listen to us talk and ramble on, go subscribe to us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you listen to your podcast, Podbean, you'll find us there. We're trying to get that Joe Rogan money. So if you want to help us get to that Joe Rogan level of expertise, continue to like all our content, share it with your friends. Most importantly, leave us a comment. And thank you for listening. You got anything else for the people, Thad?
No, that's it. Don't forget to come see me on Saturday mornings at 8:30 at CrossFit Beaumont for my endurance class.
Let me give you some time to talk about that. That's kick back up again, the endurance class.
Yeah, we just had our the third one since all this stuff went on.
Okay.
This past Saturday, we finally the first two, the participation really wasn't like what it has been, and that's understandable. But we had about 24 people in the class Saturday. So
cool. So guys, make sure you go check out Thad's endurance class Saturday mornings. If you want to get away from just traditional style CrossFit workouts with heavy barbell movements, or if you're just a runner, any type of endurance athlete, it's a very good class to help you mix up your training methods. If you're a bodybuilder, go try it out. And I told my one buddy who's a bodybuilder, I say, what better way to get your cardio in if you do cardio and lift weights at the same time? You're killing two birds with one stone.
That's it.
So you guys go check out Thad's endurance class starting at 8:30. Normally ends about a little bit before 10 o'clock, but it's ample amount of time to stretch throughout the class. Normally workouts last anywhere but 25 to 30 minutes. It just depends.
Usually anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes.
30, 50 minutes. Okay, cool. So y'all check out Thad's endurance class. And once again, we thank you for joining the show, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
See y'all later.
Cue the cool drop.
Drop.